The Beetlejuice trailer officially dropped and I am not okay. I think I knew this was going to be a big deal, but I did not fully grasp what it was going to actually feel like once it finally dropped. So today we're going to get into all the things from what we know so far, to our predictions, to our trailer reaction, and of course, your thoughts on the initial trailer, because that's what we do around here. If you're looking for a true spooky community that fanghouls over spooky pop culture and Halloween all year, you have found your spooky oasis, because that's what we do here all the time. So without further ado, let's kick up the juice and see what shakes loose.
Monsters do have their place in your nightmares, in the deep, in your favorite horror movies.
Before we get started, I did want to send a major thank you and shout out to all my channel members. We have Moody Exorcist, Rachel, Bonnie, Nikki, Lisa, Rosie, Mandy, Claudia, and Monica. Thank you guys so much for your support. It really does go a long way and it helps a lot. I also wanted to give a special thank you to Sweet Darla as well for buying me a coffee. So if you guys are interested in unlocking bonus videos about my weight loss journey or lifestyle vlogs, you can subscribe at the link in my description below. Or if you just want to show some occasional appreciation, you can buy me a coffee too. I also want to say that I completely understand we are living in very hard times, so if you can't support financially, a like and a comment go a very long way, and it helps push my content out to more spooky ghouls just like you. So whatever it is you can do to show appreciation, I greatly appreciate all of you, and I truly love this spooktacular community that we have here. All right, let's get into what we know so far about Beetlejuice Beetlejuice. We still don't have an official synopsis, but after the trailer, fans are speculating that Lydia is back home to mourn the loss of her father, Charles Dietz. It was also very interesting that this is the route that Tim Burton took, because in case you didn't know, apparently Charles Dietz is an official registered sex offender, I believe. So that's not cool, but it's pretty interesting how they decided to go about navigating that through the sequel. Based on interviews and our first look, I really believe this is Tim Burton's homecoming to doing what he does best, which is spooky love letters with an unbeatable aesthetic. This film will bring together an iconic cast of Tim Burton's past, present, and future. Returning to the film is, of course, Michael Keaton, everyone's favorite Batman, as Beetlejuice. It has been said that Tim Burton talked about how Michael Keaton was one of the most reluctant to actually doing this, but once he put on the Beetlejuice costume and everything, he literally compared it to demon possession. He jumped right back into it, so I'm super excited to see it just for that reason alone. And then we also have Winona Ryder returning as Lydia Dietz, and she's also from Edward Scissorhands, so she has a very long history with Tim Burton. And then we have Catherine O'Hara as Delia, of course. You know that I was 22 years old, not 20. I was gonna say the whole I was today years old, but it didn't work out. I literally found out in the past couple of years that Catherine plays Sally in Nightmare Before Christmas, and my mind was blown. I don't know how I didn't know that before. And then making her Beetlejuice debut, of course, we're all excited for Jenna Ortega as Astrid, who is Lydia's daughter. So she's part of Tim Burton's present. And we also have Monica Bellucci playing Beetlejuice's wife, who is actually Tim Burton's current girlfriend. The tea is piping hot right now, guys. I had no idea. I was like, Tim Burton has a girlfriend and she's in this movie. So that's pretty cool. And then we also have Willem Dafoe joining the cast as an afterlife detective. And I also found out that Willem Dafoe was actually supposed to play the Joker in Tim Burton's Batman. So we could have had a completely different Joker than the Jack Nicholson one, which is crazy to me. I think he would have done really well, honestly. And I'm really looking forward to seeing him join the Beetlejuice universe, because I feel like he's gonna blend in so seamlessly with Beetlejuice, honestly. So I'm really excited to see what he does. And then we also have Justin Theroux. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that name wrong. We don't have a lot of details about him, but we know that his character's name is Rory, and based on the initial trailer, people are speculating that he might be replacing the Otho character in the original movie. Unfortunately, the actor who played Otho passed away a few years ago, and people are speculating that he's going to kind of fill that void and be Delia's close confidant or something, but we really don't have any details about that yet. We have also heard that Tim Burton and Michael Keaton have talked about the possibility of a sequel for a very long time, but they both had agreed that they didn't want to do it unless it really made sense and it didn't feel forced. So it turns out that Tim Burton finally found an emotional hook and says this movie was inspired by his own journey from cool teenager to lame adult. And I think the second I read that, I just knew that this is going to be a movie about Lydia reconnecting with Beetlejuice to find herself again and get to experience the adventure with her daughter. Which is literally perfect because, as we learned with Lisa Frankenstein, so many of you are sharing your spooky love stories with your daughters and enjoying a lot of this spooky content together. So I feel like that's genuinely my theory on this film. Like, I think that's what's gonna happen, but maybe it's just like my fan fiction dream. So we'll see. Another theory I have is that this film is going to be about Lydia and Beetlejuice healing their relationship and teaming up for something. I don't know what, but I feel like that's kind of where it's going. A lot of people mentioned that Beetlejuice looks pissed in the trailer. I don't think he looks pissed. I think he looks mischievous or malicious as always, I guess. I don't know. And that Lydia looks terrified, which I can agree. I can see how she does look a little scared. So after hearing that, that this was inspired from feeling like a lame adult, I think that Lydia probably left home at some point and Beetlejuice was left alone, and so when she comes back, she's terrified to see how mad he might be about that, because she's probably living like her boring life now, so I feel like she might come back and welcome Beetlejuice versus like resist it just because she misses the nostalgia of like playing with him, if that makes sense, you know? So I feel like that might be where the movie's going. I really don't know. These are all predictions, but tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. I dare you. Just kidding. But I would love to hear your predictions in the comments down below because I just feel like something's brewing. I don't know what, but I have a feeling that it's totally going to be a love letter to like older spooky women who feel bored of their normie life, you know? Okay, and then another exciting thing about this film is that while a lot of people felt they weren't excited about a Beetlejuice sequel, a lot have been proven wrong since the first look, and I think it's because of how true to the original film it is already proving to be. In a recent interview, Tim Burton said, "I tried to strip everything and go back to the basics of working with good people and actors and puppets. It was kind of like going back to why I liked making movies." Michael Keaton and Tim Burton have both said multiple times that they wanted this movie to be made just like it was in the 80s with practical effects, stop motion animation, and old school camera tricks. And honestly, after seeing that first look, I think they made the right call because I feel like that's what's going to make the movie stitch together so seamlessly. And it's just immediately obvious from the trailer that it just feels exactly like the first one, from the way the characters are framed to the lighting, just everything. Like, I can tell that they took a lot of care and intention into making it feel like a complement of the first one versus it being like, oh, this is like a reboot and it looks so new and future, not futuristic, but you know, like all of the modern technology, like it would look drastically different if they were starting from scratch, but that's not how it feels. And I think that's why so many people felt so emotional with it, because it felt like a homecoming, which is what I'm telling you. It's Tim Burton's homecoming. I'm calling it. All right. So now that we have all this info, let's get into our thoughts on the trailer. First and foremost, can we talk about how the movie is going to take place during Halloween? I did not know this until now. I don't know why. Like, I feel like I saw the behind the scenes pictures people were posting online, but it just didn't register to me like, holy crap, this Beetlejuice movie is going to be a Halloween movie. So yes, we do confirm in the opening scene, the very first opening scene, you see the pumpkins along the road, and then you see the beautiful fall colors behind Jenna Ortega on the bike, and you just immediately know like this is going to be fall vibes, Halloween setting type of movie, which I'm super happy about. And then it's coming out in September. So like the entire world, you guys know this, you know this more than anyone, that the best thing about fall and spooky season is that the entire world is vibing with us and the aesthetic we love year round. But I feel like the fact that this is coming out in early September, everyone in the whole world is just going to be like extra vibing with Halloween and spooky season this year. And it's absolutely fantastic if you ask me. All right. And then we have to mention the music. I was not prepared for the chills and emotions I was going to get the second I heard the dramatic Deo, Like, it was like literally spine chilling for me. Like, I figured we were gonna get something like this, but it just was, for a first look, so emotional, honestly. And I know I sound like such a fangirl and so fake, but genuinely, I thought, oh my god, am I gonna be crying by the end of this trailer? Thankfully, I did not, but I definitely felt the feels, you know? And I also just want to say that I don't know why, but this trailer just continued to surprise me. Like, every single second of the trailer surprised me over and over again. And I don't know why, but I guess it goes back to it feeling so familiar to the first one. They just did such a great job, from like the way they posed Lydia and Beetlejuice, the same way they were framed in the first film. It was just so beautifully done and crafted. I'm so excited to see the film. And I especially love how they used so many of Lydia's like iconic scenes to introduce Jenna's character. I really think like they did such a beautiful job of showing that Jenna's gonna be the one discovering the same things that her mom did. And I feel like so many people have complained, thinking like, oh, well, this is just gonna be literally like a reboot basically, but with Jenna Ortega in it now. And I don't think so. I think they're making us out to believe that. I really don't think so, but I think that this trailer, or like first look, was a beautiful opening, or like, how could I call it? I think this was their way of like introducing Jenna into the universe the same way they introduced Lydia, but I don't think that that's actually going to be the storyline. I could be wrong, but I think that they'd be kind of silly to just give it all away in the first one, you know? And they also did such an incredible job of showing us so many iconic pieces. Like, within the first look, we had the Winter River Bridge, the school, the Beetlejuice sign, just to name a few. And I'm pretty sure that there's still going to be like so many more surprises to come. At least I hope so, because like I said, it'd be pretty silly if they gave everything away in the first look. And I do want to also talk about the cast for a little bit. I think the cast looks incredible. I will admit that for a second I was a little bit sad, because I do feel like you can see the major age difference in Beetlejuice, and that Michael Keaton is getting older, you know? And that's not me like hating or anything. It just genuinely made me sad. But then I also started to think about it, and the more I saw the trailer over and over again, he didn't seem that way to me. And I think that that could also just be like, because it's filmed with higher quality now compared to in the 80s. I think it's just like sharper, more detail, and that's the reason it feels that way. But yeah, like I said, I kind of like started to see it more, and it started to blend in for me. So I think it was just like that initial shock of like the first time I saw him in 4K basically, you know? But I also wanted to say Lydia looks amazing, and so does Delia. Like, these spooky women have aged so well. They look gorgeous, so I'm really looking forward to seeing more of them. And of course, I'm super curious to find out what is the deal with Beetlejuice's wife. So much left to uncover still. So those are my thoughts, but one of my favorite things about being a creator is the community we have here. I was so excited to be able to share the trailer with you guys in real time. If you're new here, we have a Discord server. The link to that is in the description below. And the minute this came out, I shared it out, and I was like, hey, drop your comments and reactions here so that I can share them in the video. And that's just like one of the glorious things about our community, honestly. Like, if you're a spooky ghoul, you have to be on this Discord. Our ghouls are always sharing everything from like code oranges to their hauls to what they're reading. So it's just like the most wholesome spooky community, honestly. I love it so much. I could be biased because, you know, it's my community, but still, I love you guys so much. So if you're new here, be sure to check it out because you don't want to miss it. But anyway, I of course wanted to share reactions because it's not just my thoughts, it's your thoughts. And I love sometimes that I get to like use your reactions as like validation for my thoughts, because I'm like, am I crazy? Please validate my thoughts. And sometimes you guys disagree, but I love it because it just brings a whole different perspective that I would have never thought of without you. So let's get into what the spooky said, shall we? Poppy said, excited to see Winter River and hear Deo Banana Boat. Proper teaser with not so much given away other than the scene which suggests Charles Dietz has died. Looking forward to the next trailer, and this is coming from someone who likes things to be a surprise. With this movie though, I seem to want a bit more, as that wasn't enough. I don't need convincing though, as we'll be there with Belzont. Yeah, I feel like everyone wants more right now. It was just so good, you know. I feel like if it had not been good, we would have been like, oh, I don't know, we'll see. Because I feel like when the Hocus Pocus 2 trailer came out, Everyone was like, I don't know, I'm holding my reservations, I'm not getting my hopes up, but this one, like, everyone's full on excited now. It's happening. Okay, and then Sweet Darla said, after 36 years, he still got it. That's right. Tim Burton himself said he's possessed. Just kidding. To clarify, I'm the one who said that's right. Darla was the one who said he still got it. Worstwitch87 said, I'm so excited the trailer has literally been replaying 60 times and stopped to look at each scene one at a time, lol. Though I am curious to see why we saw a picture of Justin Theroux as Rory on E.T. but not on the trailer. But the picture was almost identical as the trailer scene with Delia, Astrid, and Lydia. Girl, you lost me. Hold on. Let me recap this. We saw a picture of Justin Theroux as Rory on E.T., but not on the trailer. But the picture was almost identical as the trailer scene with Delia, Astrid, and Lydia. I'm confused. Can you please clarify in the comments, Yana? Okay, sorry. If anyone understands that part, please clarify for me. Because I thought Justin Theroux was in the trailer. But maybe I'm making it up. I'm pretty sure he was. Okay. HorrorBabe13 said, totally brought some memories from the first movie, but not sure if I get the plot/story right. Seems like they're making the same story, but not with Lydia's daughter. But now with Lydia's daughter, or I don't really know. End quote. Yeah, exactly. A lot of people are making this assumption that they're pretty much making the same story. Gotta fix the pretty bangs, you know? Just kidding. But yeah, a lot of people are saying that. I don't think that's gonna be the case, honestly. It would be too, like, boring, honestly. I think they have something up their sleeves and they're not telling us yet. Okay, and then Emmy Regalado said, it may sound corny, but I was tearing. I grew up watching the original Beetlejuice, and this just takes me back. I feel like just by that teaser, it felt like I got transported back to 1988. That essence was captured. I can't wait. End quote. Yes, that makes me so happy to read, honestly. Like, I can just feel your emotions sometimes when you guys write to me, and I agree. And I think that the reason it feels this way is because they did such a great job of using that first movie as a Bible of how they would recreate it again. You know, same aesthetic, same framework, same lighting, all of it. So I'm super excited as well. And then Monica Hernandez said, I think they're going to get it right, end quote. Yes, I think everyone is feeling this way, which is so positive. Spellbound Homestead said, this has me both so excited and hopeful. I'm hoping for nostalgia mixed with some all new things. I can't wait, end quote. Yeah, that is a good point. I'm curious to see what new surprises they have for us, because of course they have to mix something new in. And I think something that I didn't touch on, I completely forgot, was that I'm curious to see how they evolve Beetlejuice into 2024, because I know that the way Beetlejuice behaved in the 80s isn't very politically correct anymore. In fact, I have a friend who watched this a few years ago for the first time as an adult, and she was completely shocked. She was like, oh my God, that was not what I was expecting. He's like a pervert. He's a weirdo. And I was like, but that's Beetlejuice. Like, you can't judge it. But I could see why it was like so shocking for someone. So I'm super curious to see how they adapt Beetlejuice to this 2024 atmosphere where everyone's a little bit more cautious and aware of feelings, which is totally fair and correct. But I'm curious to see how they balance that alongside staying true to Beetlejuice's character. So that'll be interesting to see. But yeah, that's everything I got for you on Beetlejuice so far. But if you made it this far, leave a green heart emoji in the comments below to show your spooky spirit, and let me know your thoughts on the first trailer. Until next time, sending you goals and kisses. Bye!